So every CB guy should have a dummy load. You know, whether you're testing radios, tuning radios, tinkering with radios, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's always handy to have a dummy load. And I decided to build one instead of buying one from Amazon or eBay. And if you want to know why and how, stick around. Let's find it out. So the reason I decided to build this little guy instead of buying one was, well, I don't like the little round ones that they sell on eBay, Amazon. They're typically, 10 to 100 watts. If you go above that, the price goes up substantially. And anyhow, I decided that it would be a good learning experience. I wanted to learn how to build some stuff, and I like to tinker. So I decided to build my own, and this one is a 50-ohm 250 watt. So it came out a lot cheaper than it would have if I'd bought one, pre-manufactured, and it was a good learning experience building it. So let's look at the materials I used. I bought these little project boxes in bulk. I think I got them on eBay. I bought a whole box full of them. I think there was like 30 of these in a box. So I have a whole bunch of these little project boxes. So then I had to look around to find a heat sink that would go inside of them. And, I found some boxes of these guys, and they fit inside the little project cases very nicely. Gave me a good place to mount the resistors. Now the resistor I used, if we can see here, these are the RFG 50-ohm 250 watt. They're flange mounted, and they have a through trace on them. Some of these only have a single, but these ones have a through trace, and there's a reason I chose those. And finally, our SO239s, we need those. So that's what we came up with. And you don't have to use this same box or the same heat sink to build your dummy load. That's just what I used because I've got a bunch of that stuff. So taking a peek inside this guy, you can see that I mounted the heat sink to the back of this, and that gave me room inside here between the heat sink and the front face for the screws and everything. We had to do some measuring around here. I mounted the resistor as close to the end as I thought I could, so that my distance between the inside of our SO239 would be close. I wanted as short of a lead as possible. And then you can see back here is our ground. And the reason I did it this way, instead of putting the resistor in the middle, is because we want this to be a purely resistive impedance. And if we start making a long wire connection to here, we're going to start introducing, capacitive and inductive impedances into this box. And this guy tests out real good when we put it on the antenna analyzer. Now, since this was the first time I've built something like this, this is my kind of prototype, my practice little box. I don't know if we can see here, but my hole for my SO239 didn't come out very good, and it's a little bit off-centered. You can see that the center of the resistor and the center of the SO239 are kind of offset. It's because my hole is offset, and that's because I drilled that with a normal 5/8 drill bit. And yeah, they don't do a good job on this thin aluminum like this. You need either a step bit or a little like a Greenlee punch, which I do have now. So when I make another one of these guys, it'll be all lined up, and I'll feel better about that. But again, I built this as a learning experience, and that's one of the things that I did learn when I did it. All right, so I hooked this guy up to the Rig Expert antenna analyzer. Let's get this guy turned on here. Let's ease up here to the SWR chart, and we'll run a scan across the CB band here. Look at there, 1.04. That's a really good SWR, pretty much clear across the band, a little bit lower in places. So let's cancel out of there. We'll go down here to all parameters, and we will test this guy again. You can see a SWR 1.04. We got 48.9, 49 ohms. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's and our X is negative 1.35. So this guy's really good for you know, a first try homebrew dummy load. This is probably better than you're going to see from the Amazon or eBay dummy loads. So now earlier I alluded to the fact that I used the resistors with the 2 poles, and I did that for a reason. And the way these compact, you can see maybe the reason. If we stack 3 of these like this, solder these together here and here, now we have 750 watts at 150 ohms. And if we do that 3 by 3 square, like you see, you know, half of these, now we have a 2250 watt dummy load, and we hook them back together in parallel to our SO239. It brings our, you know, it brings us back down to 50 ohms at 200 or at 2250 watts. So I might be making a sizable dummy load in the future. But anyhow, guys, 73's OLDX1, Mr. Livingston said, I'll see you. Bye.